Hi, my name is Cherie. Welcome to my journey. So we're down here, oh, at the lake. I'm telling you, it's beautiful down here, right? However, it's pretty crowded. All right. Um. Yeah. So it's like you have to. Problems? What the hell? Listen. Uh. Like I said, you had to jockey for space down here. That's how crowded it is. It's like wherever you go, there are so many people down here that you would feel like you have to jockey for space. Even when it comes to riding your bikes, right? The bicycle riders, they've taken over. And, yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it's a wonderful thing, right? I mean, it's almost to the point where, you might have to start closing off this park, to through traffic if, it continues to be this crowded, because this is pretty damn crowded. Okay? You got to have, signals, you have to learn the rules, right? You have to be, politically correct, right? You have to learn how to share, right? This is what happens when, you have overcrowding. When you have overcrowding and you're not politically correct and you don't know the etiquette, right? What do you do? What do you do? You know how sometimes, you would see people, who are walking together and nobody wants to move, or, you know, allow other people to have space to walk, yeah, it's like that. And like I said, it's an etiquette. Now the bicycle riders, they seem like they're going about 15 to 20 miles an hour, right? And that's good, even though, the speed limit says 25. They're like, no, you need to share the road with the bicycles. It's like, we do. Look at all these bicycles. Yeah, but this whole area down here by the lake is full. It's crowded. So, yeah. We love nature. We do. And a lot of people are down here getting nature and exercise, which is kind of what I was thinking about doing. But I can see, I might want to try a park, right? Because down here by the lake is crowded. Okay, I'm gonna check out this bazaar and see what kind of wigs they have, and get back with you, okay? Okay, I went into this bazaar, right? And I was thinking about doing like the boho braids, right? And I asked her how much it is, and she was like, "Oh, $100." I'm like, "Oh, that's a lot, And so I started looking around. And anyway, I went and got me some hair. And I'm like, if you really want to, you can braid your own hair. This was only $6.99, right, for this whole big old pack, right? And then I bought me some combs. I bought me some sponges, some makeup sponges, some clips, and some nail polish remover, right? So I end up spending about $20, $21. And I'm like, okay, that's cool. You know, $21. You know, I'm going to have to do the labor myself. It's getting hot. Hold on. So, yeah. Sometimes, you know, you're just going to have to do things yourself. Because trying to pay somebody to do it, you know, first of all, it's not going to be how you want it to be. Right? Because only you really know how you want it to be. Then, once you get past that, right, you have to ask yourself, why did you spend that money paying somebody supposedly to do something the way you want it to be done, only to find out that it's not the way you want it to be done, right? It doesn't fit your head or the shape of your head or whatever, right? So I've been wanting some braids for about a year now. And you know, I can do the boho braids myself. Okay? But you know, it does take time. It takes time. Ooh, it got hot. Tell you, even though it's 75 degrees outside, in this van, it feels like it's 85. Because of all these windows, I suppose. Now, there's this other place that I'm gonna go look at, right? This was a good deal, right? I needed the sponges. I only had 2 sponges left, right? And you know, I've been washing them, you know, kinda, you know, and I just ran out of the last bit of my nail polish, so I had to make sure I at least had some of that nail polish remover. Because yesterday while I was sitting in the house, I'm like, ooh, I can't stand the way my toes look, you know. The nail polish, you know, was, you know, chipping off of my toes, and I didn't have any nail polish remover, so I just painted over the chip nail polish. I just painted over it, right? I swear, these people, to them, the law is just a fucking suggestion. Alright? He's in a turn right only lane, and he decides to go straight. I don't know what he was thinking, but that's not the hit, man. That is not the hit. That's why I can't wait, you know, to put up, you know, my dash cam. Because, yeah. You know, I want to get these people caught on camera what they doing, right? Because they doing some stupid stuff, and that stupid stuff needs to be put on camera so we all can see. These are the same people walking around here pretending like, you know, they got it going on. And yet they're the biggest jokes, right? They're the biggest jokes. You can laugh at them for days once they put on camera. Once you put them on camera, right? And you see how they act, right? They're like, isn't that you? And they're like, well, yeah, that's me, but, you know, I don't always act like that. Like, but you act like that at this particular time, on this particular day, and it was caught on camera. That's what I love about the internet. Oh my gosh. You know, because people don't like to be caught on camera acting a fool. Right? And they definitely don't want to be caught on camera, you know, doing despicable things, which a lot of them do despicable things. But yeah, I'm gonna go to this other shop, because even though they have expensive, expensively priced, wigs, the expensive wigs, they look really nice, right? At that place, the expensive wigs look like the one I got on my head. And I'm like, I'm not going to pay $100 for a piece of shit, right? If you're going to pay $100, you want it to look smooth, you want the parts to look clean, right? You want it, $100 is $100. But I really think that wig didn't cost $100. It costed $79.99, and that's one of the reasons why I was like, I'll move along. And she was like, oh, you scared me. I'm like, how'd I scare you? She's like, I was looking for you. I'm like, are you looking for me to give me the right price on that wig that I asked you about? She's like, I was looking for you to see if you needed some more help. I said, well, the wig that you showed me was a little overpriced. I said, I think I might just make my own. Right? And she kind of turned around. I guess she didn't want me to see her face drop to the floor. Okay? So now my challenge is if I want to do it to my own scalp, or do I want to put it on a wig cap? A lot of my, I'm thinking I might want to put it on a wig cap. Okay, that's what I'm thinking, because that way I can take it on, pull it off, put it on, and I won't necessarily have to worry about, wrapping it up or, and all that stuff while I sleep. Because I sleep rough. I do. I sleep rough, and I sweat in my sleep, especially around my neck, around my hairline. I sweat a lot. But I'm going to go to this other one. I'm going to see what they have. I'm pretty much happy that I got a whole bag of hair. It only cost me $7. And I can do whatever I want to with this synthetic hair. It's my kind of hair. It's yucky hair. Yucky! Oh my God. So they haven't fixed this area over here where I could get off on now I have to go down and around. Okay. So they're working over in this area. So as they're doing, as they're upgrading, right, they're upgrading the roads, because they got to upgrade the roads. And I'm telling you, I'm so pissed off at, America and their price gouging. This $3.19, because, America done went to war with Iran, is really pissing me off. I'm like, how do you justify that? Get price gouging, right? And they'll say supply and demand, but are you getting your oil from Iran? A lot of the gas stations that had been getting imported oil, a lot of them, they've shut down. They've closed. They've shut down shop. And those were like, some Exxon and Chevron and some Shell. Okay, some of them, they've shut down and they sold out. They sold to somebody else, that wanted to take that risk. Whereas, there are people who have, local connections in America. to redo the turnabout. So they had the U-turn turnabout. They're redoing that. And what gets me about some of this road construction is a lot of these people, they're just passing through this area, right? A lot of these people, they're going out to Rockwall and Heath and Wiley and Forney and, you know, all of these areas out here. But, you know, they're not paying for this, you know, upgrade on these highways that, you know, where they're congested, you know. They've moved out to the suburbs, but they got to go through your neighborhood in order to get home, right? Are they paying for that easement? So, yeah. You know, people want to start nitpicking you for, you know, and charging you for every little thing. Let's charge them for every little easement. And they already know how many people come out from the suburbs. You know, they used to tabulate this with the little holes in the road, counting every single vehicle. You know, now I suppose they can just do it with a camera. So yeah. And she was looking at the numbers. I was looking at the numbers. And she squinted. I squinted. Right? And so I'm like, okay, you're going to give me a higher price? Because the wig actually that I was talking about, it says $79.99. But I asked her, how much does this cost? She said, $100. My thinking is, you know, when you try to cheat somebody, you know, you should just cheat yourself right out of a good sale. That's what you're gonna do. You'll cheat you. You know, if I'm sitting up here looking at something and I'm seeing a certain price and I'm seeing that the wig looks raggedy, right? And I'm like, nah, it can't possibly be the price. Can't possibly be the price. Right? So when somebody's looking at something, figuring that, hey, it can't possibly be the price, that's giving the vendor an opportunity to make a sale at a discount. Period. Period. Now, if they don't want to make a sale at a discount, that's different. But to turn around and start thinking, oh, she couldn't read what that said? Let me just say $100. I'm like, really? Really? going up here. I'm almost at this other store that's close to the Chan's that I like so much. But we're not going to be buying Chan's. We're not. Let's go up in here and see what they have that I might want to get here. By the way, this is where I got the glasses from and the lip tint. So let's go and see what they have here. Okay, I bought me some lip tint moisturizer stuff, right? It's supposed to be ruby. It's not quite ruby. Eh? But I like it. I like it a lot. I did buy me a wig. It's the same color as this one, except it looks a lot better. And I bought me some sunglasses. Yeah, hold on, let me show you. I think they were getting ready to close for the night because it is Sunday, and instead of being 5 o'clock, it's actually 6 o'clock. Yep. I like my big glasses. They're so cute. You're so cute. Hey, beautiful. What you think? What you thinking? Whoa. I'm thinking that big old hedge right there is blocking the view of oncoming traffic. That's what I'm thinking. And I just love it when somebody, turns a right turn, like in the next exit entry right before you, and they act like you're in the way because you're turning onto the street also. It's like, what the hell, man? Didn't you just turn onto the street? Hold up. Wait a minute. Okay, so yeah, I like the smooth wine color or auburn or whatever you want to call that color, kind of red that I have is smooth. I like it. Okay, but there's something, I think I would like it more if it had bangs. Okay, I haven't figured out if I want to cut it and make it have bangs or not, because the way that it looks on me it makes me appear to be like a lot softer than I want to look. I don't want to look that soft. So yeah, I think I'm gonna pick up some dinner at this Walmart, neighborhood Walmart. Don't want to go inside a big Walmart. This one that I got, this wig I got, it's a lace front. I'm not real familiar on how to do these lace fronts, but I have seen where, you know, people will, attach it to their forehead, put makeup, down so it looks like, I don't know, it looks like you got like dried up skin on the top of around your hairline. Yeah. And then some people, I don't know, I think they might even use glue, right? And they be tearing out their hairline, and that's something I would not want to do. I would not want to do that. But it might take me a while to figure out exactly how I'm going to utilize this loose hair, because sometimes I'll just use the loose hair as a ponytail. Okay. Because I've been drinking this protein coffee all day, I'm not sure what I want to eat. But I promise you, it's like everywhere I go, it is crowded. It's so crowded that I'm like, does it have to be this crowded everywhere? Everywhere, right? So I'm gonna go in here and see what shopping looks like up here in Walmart. Because when I was looking for some shrimp and some top ramen, well, I had the top ramen, but I wanted some shrimp to put inside my ramen. I ate up all the shrimp. So let's go in here and see. This is what I got so far. Cooked shrimp, a blend of fruit, strawberries, blueberries, and cherries, and creamer, and some milk. Now I want to get some top ramen noodles. Hold on. So one of the things that I found interesting is that instead of the lentil up north, they have pasta made from garbanzo beans, which I haven't seen any of that down here. Just the lentil beans. Oh, chickpeas pasta, yes. There it is. There it is, right there. Maybe I should get some. This one here. This is not it. So, but it does say it's fortified with protein. Okay. So let's move along. The ramen noodles is not on the pasta aisle. Oh, what other ramen noodles would be on the on the soup aisle? Okay. So even the ramen noodles have gone up to like 40 cents a pack, unless you catch them on sale. Okay, so yeah, we're gonna get this, and I think that's it.